When we previously shared an experience here that revealed a coming lockdown, many thought it was a joke. But what you will hear today comes from a high-ranking officer in the American military. He reveals even greater details and was able to disclose when this will happen. Kindly stay until the end so you can be prepared. Tell us where you are watching from so we can connect as a family and continue to pray with you. I will begin sharing today's experience. My name. I will not tell you my name. You may think this is strange, but I need you to understand something from the beginning. I have a family. I have a position. I have a career in the United States Army, and I love this country more than I can put into words. But right now, I have to choose between protecting my job and protecting souls, and I choose souls. That is a hard choice. That is a choice that costs me something. But it is the right choice. When I tell you my experience, I do not want you to focus on who I am. I do not want you to search for me or figure out my identity or try to find where I work. Please do not do this. What matters right now is not Daniel or me or any person. What matters is the message I am carrying. And I am carrying it because God Himself told me to carry it. And I have been running from that calling. But I cannot run anymore. I have been trained my whole life to stay silent about my feelings. Men in the military, especially officers, we do not talk about fear. We do not talk about emotions. We talk about duty, mission, and the safety of the people we love. We are trained to keep secrets. We are trained to not ask questions. We follow the chain of command. This is who we are, and I am proud of this. I am proud to be a soldier. I am proud to serve this nation. But something changed in me on March 2nd, 2026, and I have been breaking into pieces ever since, and I cannot carry this alone anymore. 1 week ago, I saw a video on the internet. A man named Daniel shared his experience about a near-death experience. He described things he saw, events coming to the world, things that would make people afraid, things that would test the faith of believers. And as I watched this video, my hands started to shake. My heart was racing so fast I thought it might explode out of my chest. I had to stop the video multiple times. I had to sit down. I had to cry. Because everything he described, I had seen it too. Everything, every detail, every vision, every message from God. It was all there. 7 days ago, I was lying in my bed at 3 in the morning, unable to sleep for the 100th night in a row, and I heard a voice, not with my ears but deep inside my spirit. The voice did not say words exactly, but it filled my mind with knowing. It said to me, not in sound but in understanding that goes beyond sound, you have seen what is coming. You have been shown what others have not been shown. You cannot remain silent. Tell them to return to me. Tell them to prepare their hearts. And I told that voice, I told God, but I am in the army. If I speak out, my career is over. My family will suffer. People will think I am crazy. They will dismiss me. They will say I am a religious fanatic or I am mentally unstable. Please, let me stay silent. Let me keep my job. Let me protect my family through my position. And the knowing that came back to me was different. It was stronger. It had a kind of sadness in it, and it revealed to me that people are dying every single day without being ready. People are going to face what is coming, and they do not have faith. They do not have God. They are building their lives on things that will not stand. And I have been shown the truth, and I cannot watch people suffer because I was afraid. That is when I decided. I will tell my experience. I will not tell you who I am because that protects my family. But I will not protect myself anymore. If God wants this message out, then this message will get out, and I will trust Him to protect me. So here is my experience. On March 2nd, 2026, I was working late at the office. We had a problem with some equipment, and I needed to handle it personally. I sent my team home and told them I would stay to finish the work. I was tired. I had been tired for months, actually. The pressure of my position, the weight of responsibility, The things I knew were happening in the world that most people do not know about. It was wearing me down. Around 11 o'clock at night, I finished my work and I drove home. My family was already asleep. I went to my room and I lay down in my bed, and I remember thinking how good it felt to finally rest. I remember thinking about my children. I have 2 children, a boy and a girl, and they are my whole world. I was thinking about them as I was falling asleep. And then something changed. My chest started to hurt. Not a little pain. A pain so strong that it took my breath away. I tried to sit up. I could not move. My left arm went numb. My heart was beating in a way that did not feel like a heartbeat anymore. It felt like something was crashing inside my body, trying to get out. I wanted to call for help. I wanted to yell for my wife, but I could not speak. My mouth would not open. My body was not listening to my mind anymore. This is the moment I now understand that I died. My heart stopped. The pain went away, but not because I felt better. The pain went away because I was no longer connected to my body. It is hard to explain this to someone who has never experienced it. It is like, imagine you have been holding a heavy weight your whole life, and you do not even notice the weight anymore. And then someone takes the weight away, and for a moment, you do not feel relief. You just feel confused because you have forgotten what it feels like to not carry that weight. I could see my body on the bed. I could see my wife next to me, still sleeping. I could see my bedroom, the walls, the furniture, the pictures of my children on the nightstand. And I could see all of this, but I was not seeing it with my eyes. I was seeing it with something else, a kind of knowing that was deeper than sight, a kind of vision that sees everything at once, all around, from every angle. And I was not sad to leave my body. I was not afraid. I was just observing. I was watching what was happening with a kind of peaceful curiosity. And then I understood. I understood that I was dead. My body was no longer functioning. My heart was not beating, but I was still conscious. I was still aware. I was still me. And I was moving, but not with my legs. I was rising up, moving upward, and I was not falling back down. I was leaving the earth. The bedroom was getting smaller below me. The house was getting smaller. The neighborhood was getting smaller. The earth was getting smaller. And I was moving faster and faster, rising higher and higher. The darkness came around me. But it was not the darkness of night. It was not the darkness of closing your eyes. It was not empty or lonely. It was a darkness that was alive. Inside this darkness there was something moving. There was something present. I could feel a presence. I could feel a presence. I could feel that I was not alone. The presence was getting stronger. The presence was getting closer. And then a light started to come. A light so bright and so warm that I cannot find words to describe it to you in a way that would make sense. It was not like looking at the sun. It was not like looking at a lamp. It was like everything good I have ever felt was being concentrated into pure light. Every moment of love, every moment of peace, every moment of joy, every moment of joy, every moment of knowing I was safe and protected. All of it was coming from this light. I could feel warmth. I could feel love. I could feel acceptance. I could feel that I was coming home. I had the thought, somewhere inside me, that I had never felt more at peace than I felt in that moment. And I had the thought that I would never want to leave this place, that if this was death, then death was not something to be afraid of. I have never been afraid of God. I have believed in Him since I was a child, but in that moment when I felt His presence, I understood for the first time what the Bible means when it says the fear of God. It is not the fear of God. It is not the fear of punishment. It is the fear that comes when you understand that you are standing before something so great, so powerful, so perfect, that your entire life, your whole existence, means nothing compared to His greatness. It is the fear of understanding that you are just dust. You are just a person. You are nothing. And yet, This great being, this being that holds all of creation in his hands, this being that spoke the stars into existence, this being that knows every thought before you think it. He loves you. He cares about you. He wants to know you. And that fear, that understanding, it is the most beautiful thing I have ever felt. And in the middle of that light, I saw him. I saw Jesus. He did not look the way I thought he would look. He looked like he was made of light, but also like he was made of every person who has ever loved God, all the love from every person who ever believed, all concentrated into one form. I could not see his face clearly, but I could see his eyes, and his eyes had seen everything, every sin, every person who turned away from him, every person who believed, every moment of he experience, everything. His eyes had seen it all, and he loved anyway. And I felt his love, not the love you feel from another person. This was love so big that it broke something inside me. It broke me in a way that felt like healing. It broke me because I finally understood that I was supposed to be broken like this. That my pride, my fear, my need to protect myself, my need to be important in this world, all of these things had to be broken so that I could finally be whole. He reached out to me. He did not touch me with a hand, but I felt his touch inside me. It was like he was reaching into the deepest part of my soul and touching the truest part of who I am, the part of me that was created in his image, the part of me that was made to know him and to love him and to serve him. And in that moment, he showed me everything. He opened my mind and my heart to see things that cannot normally be seen. He revealed to me that he knows everything about me. Every mistake I have ever made, every time I have turned away from him, every time I have chosen my own way instead of his way, every time I have failed him, and he loves me anyway. He loves me not because I deserve it. He loves me because that is who he is. He is love. Love is not something he does. It is something he is. And that love is absolute and complete and eternal. And then while I was still in the presence of this love, while I was still feeling this love surrounding me, he began to show me what is coming to the world. He revealed to me that I had been chosen for this time, not because I am special, not because I am good, but because I was willing. He revealed to me that there are men and women all over the world, in governments, in militaries, in churches, in homes, who have seen what is coming, and many of them are silent because they are afraid. But God is raising up a generation of believers in this end time who will not be silent. We will speak. We will warn. We will prepare people's hearts. He revealed to me that at the top of the military, in the highest places, there are great men and women who have given their hearts to God, men and women who are serving their country with honor, but who are also serving God first. And in the days that are coming, these people will stand. They will be the ones who help others survive. They will be the ones who show that there is still faith when everything else is gone. And I am honored to be among them. I am honored to stand with these men and women of God who have put their duty to God above their fear, above their careers, above their safety. And then he showed me what is coming. Before he showed me the visions, he revealed to me something that made my heart stop. He showed me that there is a lockdown coming. A lockdown. He did not say the word exactly, but he revealed it to me in knowing. A time when people would not be able to move freely. When the world would shut down. When everything would stop. And then he began to bring me closer to something. He was showing me a date, a specific date. But before he would show me the date, he wanted me to understand what would happen first. He wanted me to understand the sequence of things. He wanted me to understand what would lead to this lockdown. So he began to show me all the things that would happen before the lockdown would come. The vision was not like watching a movie on a screen. It was like I was there. I was actually present in these moments. I could feel everything. I could hear the sounds around me. I could smell the air. I could feel the emotions of the people I was seeing as if they were my own emotions. It was so real that even now, weeks later, I can close my eyes and feel the fear that people will feel. I can feel the desperation. I can feel the confusion and the pain. He showed me food, empty grocery stores. I saw the shelves in supermarkets that I recognize. Stores I had been to with my family many times, and they were completely empty. Not just low on supplies, completely empty. No packages, no boxes, no cans, no products at all. The shelves were bare and white and silent, and there were people there, and they were panicking. I saw mothers searching through empty shelves, looking for anything, anything at all, that they could feed their children. I saw families arguing over the last package of rice. I saw an elderly woman standing in front of an empty shelf where medicine usually is kept, and she was crying. I saw young people looking at empty shelves with an expression of shock and disbelief, as if they could not believe what they were seeing. And I felt what they felt. The fear of not being able to feed your family. The fear that comes when you realize that the system you trusted your whole life, the system that always had food, the system you never thought could fail, has failed. The system has broken. There is no backup plan. People did not prepare. People did not think it could happen. And now it is happening. This is one of the things that will happen. This is one of the signs. When the shelves become empty, when food becomes scarce, you will know that what I saw is beginning. You will know that the lockdown is coming. He showed me money. Banks were closed. The doors were locked. I saw people standing outside banks in long lines, and they were crying and angry and confused. Some were shouting at the doors. Some were just standing there, frozen, not understanding what was happening. The money they had saved their whole lives, the money they worked for, the money they trusted to be safe, it was gone. The numbers on the screens were falling. Stock markets crashing. The value of money dropping to almost nothing. Retirement accounts emptied. Savings gone. And there was no way to stop it from falling. No way to fix it. No way to get it back. He revealed to me that what people trusted in their hearts would be broken. Their trust in money. Their trust in the government. Their trust in the systems of the world. And in that breaking, they would have to choose. They could choose to trust in God, or they could fall into fear and despair. There would be no middle ground. There would be no staying neutral. Everyone would have to make a choice. This too will be a sign. When the money fails, when the financial systems crash, you will know. You will understand that what I have told you is true. He showed me sickness. Hospitals filled beyond what they could hold. Patients lying in hallways, people on the ground, beds filled, and more people waiting for beds that would never come available. I saw doctors and nurses who had not slept in many days, maybe weeks. Their eyes were broken, their bodies were moving, but their spirits were exhausted. They were crying. They were falling asleep while standing up. I saw people struggling to breathe. I could feel what the sickness felt like in their bodies, how it moved through them, how it made their lungs burn, how it made them gasp for air that would not come, how it brought fear into their hearts and their minds. Not just fear of being sick, fear of dying, fear of what was happening to them. And I understood that this sickness would come, and it would spread fast, and many people would die. Not everyone, but many, and the people who survived would be changed. They would understand what it means to be fragile. They would understand that life can be taken away. They would understand that the things we think are permanent are not permanent. And I understood that this sickness is what would trigger the lockdown, when the sickness becomes too much, when the hospitals are full, when the fear becomes too great. That is when the lockdown would come. He showed me governments, leaders speaking on screens. Some were lying, not all of them, but some were. And the people did not know who to trust. They heard different messages. Some leaders said one thing. Other leaders said something different. Some were trying to help. Some were trying to control. And there was confusion. So much confusion. People did not know what was true. They did not know who to believe. And in that confusion, fear grew stronger. The leaders would make announcements. They would declare emergencies. They would say that people had to stay in their homes. They would say that this was temporary. They would say that this was for safety. And many people would obey. But some people would resist. Some people would refuse to accept the lockdown. And there would be conflict. He showed me the skies. The airports where I've worked, where I have been so many times, were empty. No planes, no aircraft. The skies, which are usually full of movement, which are the highways of the world, were silent, empty. still. And I understood that travel would stop, that the world would become smaller, that people would be isolated in ways they had never been isolated, families separated, people trapped in places they did not want to be. The freedom of movement would be gone. This would be part of a lockdown. The skies would be silent. The roads would be empty. People would be confined to their homes, and the world would feel like it had stopped. But most of all, he showed me people. People on their knees praying. People searching for God. People finding him. People losing hope and falling into despair. People helping each other. People turning evil and selfish. People finding their faith for the first time. People losing their faith. And he revealed to me that in that time, there would be a separation. The people who trust in God would find peace, even in the middle of chaos. The people who trust only in themselves and in the systems of the world would fall into fear and despair. The difference would not be about how much money you had or how smart you were or how powerful you were. The difference would be about whether you had given your heart to God. And as he showed me all of this, he was bringing me closer and closer to something. He was pointing me toward a date, a specific date, and I could sense what was coming. I could feel that he was about to show me when this lockdown would happen. And then, after showing me all of these visions, after revealing to me all of the things that would happen, after showing me the signs and the chaos and the fear and the separation of people, he brought me close to a calendar, or not a calendar exactly, but a knowing of time, a specific moment in time. And I saw a date. The date was April 4, 2026. April 4, 2026. April 4, 2026. I felt the weight of this date. I understood that this was important. This was significant. God was showing me this for a reason. But I was confused about what it meant exactly, because I am not completely sure what this date represents. I do not know if April 4, 2026 is the exact day when all of this will happen. I do not know if it is the day when the lockdown begins. I do not know if it is the day when the sickness becomes too much. I do not know if it is the day when the financial systems fail completely. What I know is that April 4, 2026 is significant. It is important. It is connected to what is coming. And God wanted me to see this date. God wanted me to know this date. And God wanted me to tell you this date. I do not have complete certainty about what this date means. But I know it is not far away. I know it is coming soon. I know that from today, from March 2026 when I saw this vision, to April 2026, there is not much time. There is maybe 1 month, maybe less. And in that time, things will begin to happen. The signs will begin to appear. The empty shells will begin to show up. The financial troubles will begin to show up. Till begin to grow. And April 4th, 2026 is either when it all comes together, or it is when the lockdown begins, or it is when something significant happens that changes the world. I cannot be completely certain, but I can tell you that God showed me this date for a reason, and God wanted you to know it too. The vision showed me the future, but it also showed me the solution. And the solution was simple. It was always simple. Return to God. Prepare your heart now before the fear comes. Build your faith now while you still have time. Believe now, so that when everything shakes, you will still be standing. And then he showed me himself again. Jesus. And he was right in front of me, close to me. And he revealed to me his sadness. He was sad because he did not want any of these things to happen to his people. He loved humanity so much that he died for us. He suffered. He gave everything, and he was sad that many people would not trust him, even when they see what is coming. But he was also hopeful. He showed me that no matter what happens on earth, no matter how much fear comes, no matter how much the world shakes, his kingdom will stand. His love will stand. His plan will be fulfilled. And everyone who trusts in him, who gives their hearts to him, who believes in him will be saved. That is what he revealed to me. But there was something else. He showed me something that broke me completely. He showed me all the people who would not believe, all the people who would hear the warnings and ignore them, all the people who would have chances to turn to him and would refuse. And the sadness on his face when he showed me this was so deep, so painful, that I felt like I was dying again right there. He revealed to me that some people would hear these warnings and they would mock them. They would laugh. They would say that people like me are crazy or trying to scare people for money or for attention. They would close their ears and their hearts, and they would go through the crisis without faith, without hope, without understanding. And he showed me the pain in his face as he watched this happen, the pain of a father watching his children refuse to come home, the pain of a lover watching the beloved turn away, the pain of a savior watching people reject the only thing that can save them. And I understood something in that moment. I understood that God is not angry at people. He is not looking for ways to punish people. He is sad. He is so sad because he loves humanity so much, and he does not want any of us to suffer. But we have free will. We have the choice to believe or not to believe, to trust or not to trust. And many people will choose not to trust, and that breaks God's heart. He also showed me something about the future that was not all darkness. He showed me people helping people. He showed me communities coming together in faith. He showed me people finding God in their darkest moments. He showed me families being brought back together through crisis. He showed me the Church of God standing strong, not as a building, but as the body of believers, protecting each other, feeding each other, supporting each other. And he showed me that even in the worst crisis, there would be people who would turn to God for the first time. There would be people who would have everything taken away, and in losing everything, they would find him. They would find that God is more real, more valuable, more real than any material thing. They would find that faith is stronger than fear. This is the part that gave me hope. This is the part that showed me that God is not just warning us of destruction. He is offering us a path through the destruction. He is offering us faith. He is offering us himself. After he showed me all of this, he turned to me one more time, and he revealed to me that this is why I have been prepared my whole life. My years in the military, my training, my experience, my ability to remain calm in crisis, my ability to lead people, my understanding of systems and power, all of this was preparation for this time. He showed me that I would have a role to play, not a big role, not a famous role, but a role. And there are thousands of people, maybe millions, who have been prepared like this. People in governments, people in militaries, people in corporations, people in churches, people in homes. All of them have been prepared. All of them have been given gifts and training and experience. And in the time that is coming, all of these people will have to choose. Will they use their power and their position to serve God and protect people? Or will they serve themselves? Will they use what they have been given to help others survive? Or will they save themselves? And he revealed to me that I have already made my choice. I have already decided. The vow, I will protect people. I will tell the truth, no matter what it costs me. After that, I felt myself falling backward, falling down, falling toward the earth, toward my body. The light was getting farther away. The presence was still there, but it was becoming distant, and I was afraid. I did not want to leave. I wanted to stay in that light. I wanted to stay in that light. I wanted to stay with him. I wanted to never come back to this world. But he revealed to me that my time was not finished. He revealed to me that I had work to do. I had to come back. I had to tell people. I had to warn people. I had to help people prepare their hearts. And he showed me that this work, this calling, was more important than my comfort, more important than my career, more important than my safety. He also revealed to me that there are others like me. People who have also been shown. People who have also made the choice to return and speak the truth. People in high places, people in governments around the world, people in militaries, people in churches. Some of them are already speaking. Some of them are still gathering courage, but there are more of us than people think. And he showed me that we will find each other, that we will recognize each other even without speaking names, that we will stand together in the days that are coming, that we will become a force for faith and truth in the middle of chaos and darkness. This gave me strength. This gave me courage, because I understood that I was not alone. I understood that there were other people in positions of power who had also felt God's hand, who had also been shown what is coming, who had also made the choice to serve God instead of protecting themselves. And then I was back in my body. I woke up gasping for air. My wife was shaking me, calling my name, crying. I could not speak. I could not move. I could not understand what was happening. But I could hear her voice, and I knew I was alive again, even though I was not supposed to be alive. The doctors came. The ambulance came. There were machines and tubes and people asking me questions, and one of the doctors said something that I will remember until the day I die. He said, "Your heart stopped. It was stopped for almost 11 minutes, and then it just started again. We have no explanation. It should not have started again. You should be dead." But I was not dead. God had brought me back. For 3 days after that, I did not speak to anyone about what happened. I was in the hospital. I was recovering. The doctors could not find anything wrong with me. They took tests. They did scans. Everything came back normal. There was no reason my heart should have stopped. There was no reason I should have survived. My family came to see me. My wife, my children, my parents, my brothers and sisters. They were so happy that I was alive. They were holding me, crying, thanking God for bringing me back. And I was holding them, but my mind was somewhere else. My mind was still in that light. My mind was still with him. My mind could not understand how I was back in this world. My wife asked me what happened. She said she was sleeping, and then suddenly she felt something wrong. She reached over to touch me, and I was not breathing. I was not moving. She called 911. She performed CPR. She kept pushing on my chest and trying to breathe air into my lungs while she was praying and crying and telling me not to leave her. The paramedics arrived, and they shocked my heart multiple times. And then, in the ambulance, my heart started again. The doctor said it was a miracle. They said I should be dead. They said there was no medical reason why my heart started again. But I knew the reason. God had brought me back. On the 4th day, I was sitting up in my hospital bed, and I had a Bible in my hands. A nurse had brought it to me. I opened it, and I did not choose where to open it. It just opened itself, and I started reading. And everything I read, everything was about end times. Everything was about the future. Everything was about faith. Everything was about God's love and God's plan. I read about the book of Revelation. I read about how Jesus will come again. I read about how there will be signs and wonders before that day comes. I read about fear and darkness coming to the earth. But I also read about God protecting his people. I read about faith standing strong when everything else is shaking. I read about Jesus in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I read the words of Jesus where he said, "But about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on guard, be alert. You do not know when that time will come." And I read about faith. And I read about trust. And I read about not being afraid, because God is with us always. I read about how perfect love casts out fear. I read about how if we believe in Jesus, even if we die, we will live again. And in that moment, lying in a hospital bed, still connected to machines, still weak from death, still remembering every detail of what I had seen, I understood that what I had experienced was real. It was not a dream. It was not a hallucination. It was not my mind creating things because my body was dying. It was a message, a real message from the real God. given to me in a way that I could never doubt, that I could never forget, that I could never deny. And I made a promise to God in that moment. I said out loud, and my wife heard me. I said, Lord, I will tell your message. I will not stay silent. I will not protect myself. I do not care if people think I am crazy. I do not care if people try to find me or hurt me. I will tell your message, because you have shown me the truth, and I cannot lie about the truth. I cannot hide it. I have to speak. My wife, she looked at me with tears in her eyes, and she did not argue with me. She understood. She has always been a woman of faith, and she understood that what I was saying came from my deepest truth. That was my promise. But I also made a second promise. I promised that I would not let people focus on me. I promised that I would not accept any honor or fame from this. I promised that I would not profit from this message. I promised that I would keep my identity hidden to protect my family. I promised that I would make it clear that the messenger does not matter. The message matters. And God, He confirmed this promise with me. He revealed to me that my role is to speak the message and then step back. My role is to deliver the warning and then let God do the work in people's hearts. My role is not to be famous or to be known. My role is to be faithful. I was released from the hospital on the 7th day. The doctors wanted to keep me longer. They wanted to do more tests. They wanted to understand what happened. But I told them I was fine. And I really was fine. My body was completely healed. There was no damage to my heart. There was no sign that I had experienced cardiac arrest. My body had been restored completely. But my mind and my spirit were still broken. And broken is the right word. Broken in a way that healing needs to happen. Broken the way that a bone must break and then heal to become stronger. I went home with my family, and for 2 weeks, I told no one about what had happened. I did not even tell my wife the details of the vision. I just told her that God had shown me things and that I needed to speak about them. Those 2 weeks were the hardest 2 weeks of my life. I was at work. I was doing my job. I was in meetings with important people. I was making decisions that affect the lives of soldiers and the safety of this nation. And the whole time, I was feeling like I was living a lie. Because I knew what was coming. I knew what the future held. I knew that the systems that everyone was trusting in were going to fail. I knew that the leaders were not prepared. I knew that the military was not equipped for what was coming. I knew that people needed to hear the warning right now, before it was too late. And I was staying silent. Every morning I would wake up, and I would feel sick. My stomach would hurt. I would look in the mirror and I would not recognize the man looking back at me. I would go to work and I would sit in my office and I would hear the voice inside me. The voice that was not a voice, but a knowing. And it would say, "You promised me you would speak. Why are you staying silent?" And I would have reasons. I would have excuses. My career, my family, my reputation, my safety. These were all good reasons. These were all practical reasons, and these reasons were killing me. My wife, she noticed. She asked me what was wrong. She asked me if I was okay, and I told her I was fine. But I was not fine. I was broken. I was struggling. I was fighting against myself. One night, I could not sleep again. This was about 10 days after I came home from the hospital. I was lying in bed, and my heart was racing. I was thinking about my children. I was thinking about their future. I was thinking about what kind of world they will inherit. I was thinking about whether I would be able to protect them, and suddenly the presence came to me again, not as strong as before, not as overwhelming, but it was there, and he revealed to me something that was harder than the original message. He revealed to me that my fear was hurting other people. He showed me that there were people around me, people who trusted me, people who would listen to me, who were walking into danger because I was silent. He showed me that my safety, my career, my reputation was less important than the safety and the souls of the people who would hear my message if I spoke. And it was like a knife in my chest, because he was right. I could not deny it. He was right. He revealed to me that if I stay silent, I am choosing myself over people. I am choosing my comfort over truth. And that is the same choice that many leaders are making right now. They know the truth, but they are staying silent because they are afraid, because they are protecting themselves. And he asked me, is that who I am? Am I someone who knows the truth and stays silent to protect myself? And I knew the answer. I am not that person. I became a soldier because I wanted to serve. I took an oath to defend this country and the people in it. And that oath means nothing if I know danger is coming and I do not warn people. So I made my decision. That night, I decided that I would speak. No matter what happened to me, no matter what happened to my career, I would speak. 3 days later, I was at home, alone, and I watched Daniel's video, and everything he described, I had seen, and I understood that I was not the only one, and that confirmed to me that what I had been shown was real. And then I started this testimony. Since that moment, since I decided to speak, I have felt a peace that I cannot describe. Yes, I am afraid. Yes, I am nervous about what will happen to me. Yes, I am worried about my family and what people might do or say. But underneath all of that, there is a peace. A deep peace that comes from knowing I am doing what God asked me to do, that I am being faithful to what I have been called to do. And I have learned something important. I have learned that faith is not about not being afraid. Faith is not about having complete confidence that nothing bad will happen to you. Faith is about being afraid and doing what is right anyway. Faith is about choosing God over safety. Faith is about choosing truth over comfort. Faith is about stepping forward even when you do not know what will happen to you. That is what I am doing. I am stepping forward. I am speaking. I am warning people. And I am leaving the rest in God's hands. I am not afraid anymore. Or maybe I am afraid, but I am doing it anyway. That is what faith looks like. My career might be over. My family might suffer. People might mock me. People might try to hurt me. But none of that matters anymore. What matters is that people know the truth. What matters is that people turn to God before it is too late. I want to say something very clearly to the military people who are hearing this, to the officers and the soldiers and the intelligence workers and everyone who serves in the United States military. Some of you have seen things. Some of you know what is coming. Some of you have been approached by people who know the truth. Some of you have felt God's hand on your life, pushing you toward faith. God is raising up men and women in the military, great men and women, people of honor and courage and faith, people who serve this country with their whole hearts, but who also understand that God is greater than any country, greater than any government, greater than any system of power. And I have to tell you something that God showed me. He showed me that at the highest levels of the military there are believers, there are Christians, there are people who pray, there are people who have given their hearts to Jesus. Some of them are known. Many of them are not known. Many of them have kept silent, like I kept silent, because they were afraid. But God is calling them to speak now. He is calling them to stand. And I want these people to know that they are not alone. I want them to know that I see them. God sees them, and in the days that are coming, they will be the ones who make the difference. They will be the ones who have faith when everyone else is falling into fear. They will be the ones who know how to lead. They will be the ones who understand what needs to be done. If you are one of these people, I am asking you to stand up. I am asking you to prepare. I am asking you to use your position, use your knowledge, use your power to help protect people when the crisis comes. God has put you in these positions for a reason. God has blessed you with knowledge and authority for a reason. I'm asking you to start now. Start preparing your families. Start preparing the people around you. Start building networks of faith with other believers in your chain of command. Start learning practical skills for survival. Start developing plans for how you will protect people when things fall apart. Do not wait. Do not hope that someone else will do this. Take action now. And I want you to know that I am proud to stand with you. I am honored to know that there are men and women like you in the highest places of military power. You give me hope. You give me confidence that even when everything falls apart, there will still be people of God who are standing, who are leading, who are protecting, who are showing others that faith is real. There are men and women in intelligence who know classified information about what is coming. There are commanders who understand the vulnerabilities in our systems. There are strategists who know how governments will respond to crisis. And many of these people are also people of faith. Many of these people are also praying. Many of these people are also preparing. Do not be discouraged if your superiors do not believe. Do not be discouraged if your government does not prepare. Do what you can with what you have been given. Prepare your family, help others, build community. Create networks of faith that will survive whatever comes. And know this, God has already won. His victory is assured. No matter what happens in this world, no matter how much chaos comes, His kingdom will stand, and those who trust in Him will be saved. I am happy to be among you. I am honored to be called by God to stand with you in this time. I am honored to speak these words, knowing that many of you who hear them will understand. Many of you will say, I have felt this too. I have seen this too. I have been wrestling with this same calling. And to you, I say, the time is now. Stop waiting. Stop hiding. Stop protecting your career and your reputation at the expense of truth. Speak what you know. Warn who you can. Help who you can. And trust God to protect you. Trust God to provide for you. Trust God to give you peace in the middle of the storm. Because I am telling you from experience, the peace that comes from being faithful is greater than the peace that comes from safety. The joy of following God is greater than the comfort of following the world. And when you finally step into what God is calling you to do, you will find a freedom that you have never known. You will finally be free. And to everyone else who is hearing this, everyone who is watching this testimony, I want to say something with all the love in my heart. Please do not ignore this. Please do not dismiss this as the words of a crazy man or a religious fanatic. I have no reason to risk my career, my family, my reputation for a lie. I have no reason to speak out unless I know with absolute certainty that what I am saying is true. And I know it is true. And I felt the presence of God. I have seen Jesus. I have been shown what is coming to this world. And I can never lie about that. But I am asking you not to trust me. I am asking you to trust God. I am asking you to search the Bible for yourself. Read the words of Jesus. Read about the end times. Read about God's love and God's plan. And ask God yourself to show you what is true. Do not take my word for it. Take God's word for it. The Bible is real. God is real. And He loves you. He loves you so much that He is sending warnings right now through people like me, through people like Daniel, through many people, telling you to prepare your hearts before it is too late. Please listen. Please pray. Please turn to God. Please teach your children about God. Please prepare your family spiritually. I want to be honest with you about something. I do not know exactly when these things will happen. I do not know if it will be months or years. God did not give me dates. He did not give me specific times. But He did show me that it is coming. He showed me that it is coming soon in the sense that we do not have unlimited time to prepare. And I know something else. I know that right now, today, while you are still alive, while you still have time, while your children are still here, you have the chance to prepare your heart. You have the chance to turn to God. You have the chance to become the person you were meant to be. This is the greatest gift you have been given. Not your money, not your job, not your possessions. Your chance to choose God, your chance to choose faith, your chance to choose truth. Do not waste it. Do not put it off. Do not say, I will think about this later. Do not say, I need to understand more before I commit. God does not ask for complete understanding. He asks for faith. He asks for a heart that is willing to trust Him. I made a choice. I looked at what I knew, what I had been shown, what God had revealed to me, and I chose to trust Him. I chose to speak. I chose to risk everything for truth. And I have no regrets. Not for one moment. Yes, I am nervous about what will come. Yes, I am concerned about my family. Yes, I am wondering what people will think and what might happen to me. But I am also more at peace than I have ever been in my life. Because I know I am doing what God wants me to do. I know I am being faithful. And that peace is worth more than anything the world can offer. I cannot tell you my name. I cannot tell you where I work. I cannot tell you anything about my personal life. And I am asking you to respect that. Not because I am important, but because I want you to focus on the message, not on the messenger. My identity does not matter. My position does not matter. My career does not matter. What matters is that this message gets out. What matters is that people hear the warning. What matters is that people have the chance to turn to God. And I am asking you, if you do find out who I am, if you do figure out my identity, please do not make me the focus. Please do not try to protect me or defend me or argue about whether I am credible. Just focus on the message. Ask yourself, is this message true? Is it from God? What should I do about it? Trust God to help you understand what is true. Trust God to help you prepare. Trust God to protect you. Trust God to guide you. Trust God to guide you. Trust God to take care of me, too. I do not need your protection. I have God's protection. And that is enough. That is what I am asking, and that is what I am doing. I am trusting God with my life now. I am not protecting myself anymore. I am not hiding. I am speaking because God asked me to speak. And I am letting God protect me and provide for me and guide me into the future. And I am at peace with whatever comes. Whatever comes, I know that God is with me. Whatever comes, I know that I have been faithful. Whatever comes, I know that my children will grow up knowing that their father chose truth over comfort. And that is something I can be proud of. May God bless you. May God protect you. May God open your eyes to see what is true. And may God bring you to Himself before the time runs out. I love you. And God loves you even more than I do. That is all I have to say.